There's breaking news that's coming in, and I want to go to that big story that's coming in from Bengal. It's a major statement being made by Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. Mamata Banerjee has offered to resign. She says, in case it helps and is in the interest of people, I am willing to resign. I do not want the Chief Minister's post, but I want justice for the people of Bengal. I also want health services for the people of Bengal. She's telling the striking doctors, you can continue with your protests, but do remember, we are also answerable to the families of patients and victims. There's no end to the deadlock between doctors and the Bengal government. The doctors remain adamant on their demands. Did that meeting actually take place? Mamata Banerjee was waiting. The doctors remained outside because they wanted a live transmission. Before I come to that, let's quickly listen in to Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee.
আমি মানুষের স্বার্থে এমনকি নিজে পদত্যাগ করতেও রাজি আছি। আমার মুখ্যমন্ত্রীর পদ চাই না, কিন্তু আমি চাই মানুষ বিচার পাক, তিলোত্তমা বিচার পাক, আর সাধারণ মানুষ চিকিৎসা পাক। আর তা না হলে কিন্তু আপনাদেরও যেমন আন্দোলন আছে, পরিবারগুলো যদি আমাদের কাছে কৈফিয়ত চাই, আমাদেরও তো কৈফিয়ত দিতে হবে। আমরা তার জন্য তৈরি থাকব।
I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Indrajit now joining me for more on this. Indrajit, so doctors were taken in a cavalcade to meet the Chief Minister. What happened from that point on? Because doctors had their set demands. They wanted live transmission of their meeting with the Chief Minister. Indrajit, what happened? Indrajit, can you hear me? Okay, give me a moment. Indrajit will join us in just a moment, but I believe the doctors are about to speak. After Mamata Banerjee's offer to quit, we are just waiting to listen in to the doctors. They went up to that point where the meeting was to take place. Mamata Banerjee, we are told, was waiting, but that meeting did not take place because the doctors insisted on live transmission of that meeting. Mamata Banerjee says, if you want me to quit, I am willing to quit in the interest of justice. Let's listen in to Mamata Banerjee once again before I get you what the doctors are just about to say.
এমনকি নিজে পদত্যাগ করতেও রাজি আছি। আমার মুখ্যমন্ত্রীর পদ চাই না, কিন্তু আমি চাই মানুষ বিচার পাক, তিলোত্তমা বিচার পাক, আর সাধারণ মানুষ চিকিৎসা পাক। আর তা না হলে কিন্তু আপনাদেরও যেমন আন্দোলন আছে, পরিবারগুলো যদি আমাদের কাছে কৈফিয়ত চাই, আমাদেরও তো কৈফিয়ত দিতে হবে। আমরা তার জন্য তৈরি থাকব। আমি মানুষের স্বার্থে এমন
The doctors are about to speak. The strike continues. The strike that's been on for over a month. Just a couple of days ago, Jawahar Sarkar, former member of parliament of the Trinamool Congress, insisted that there is a massive groundswell. Indrajit, what happened? That meeting for which the doctors went, what happened then?
Well, Gaurav, the stalemate continues. The meeting, of course, did not take place. There were high drama for nearly about 3 hours now, because 5:25 is when the doctors' delegation came. The delegation of 12 to 15 doctors is what the government had asked for. There were 34 doctors which came, but the government did allow them entry into the conference hall where the meeting was supposed to take place. However, doctors refused to enter the conference hall, while Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and Minister of State for Health, Chandrima Bhattacharjee, kept waiting inside the conference hall for about 2 hours. Following which, there was a deadlock. The Chief Secretary, the senior officers, the Director General of West Bengal Police, they all came out to convince the doctors. The doctors had one demand, that this entire proceeding be live streamed. The government, of course, on its part had said that there was a process of recording this entire meeting for sake of transparency. However, it cannot be live streamed because it is a case of rape and murder. It's sub judice before the Supreme Court. The CBI is investigating the matter. So there are a lot of sensitive details that cannot be discussed on the live stream in front of the entire public. However, the government is willing to provide the recording to the agitating doctors so provided it gets clearance from the Supreme Court in the next hearing on September 17th. However, the doctors did not agree to this clearly, following which Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, after 2 hours of waiting, she left and she held a press conference where she has now put the onus on the agitating doctors. And the doctors, of course, have now also decided to speak to the media. They're speaking even as we, bring this live broadcast. And they, in all probability, will be returning back to the agitation which is taking place right outside the West Bengal Health Department headquarters. So there was some hope earlier in the day that there might be dialogue and an end and a culmination to the month-long agitation. Now it seems that doesn't seem to be the case, at least for now. Mamata Banerjee has also made a big claim. She said that she's willing to resign as the Chief Minister for the sake of justice for the common masses.
Okay.
However, she feels that some elements within the protesting doctors, they actually have political agendas. They don't want justice. What they want rather is the chair. So this
But
is a
what is
political
it that the protesting doctors are now demanding, and what is their next course of action? Because there was a lot of hope, there was a lot of anticipation that once doctors meet Mamata Banerjee, there would be some forward movement and return to normalcy with security for doctors.
Well, that's right. It seems like it's going to be stalemate for now. We'll try and listen in to what the doctors have said. But the doctors on their part, of course, are saying that they are giving their own clarification. They are trying to give their clarification because, remember, the doctors were also under tremendous pressure. Tremendous public pressure was also building because yesterday there were 3 letters that have been written by the state government urging the doctors to come for a meeting. However, they did not respond. So for 2 occasions since they did not respond, there was a perception that was also building that the doctors want a stalemate, that they don't want dialogue, and that will not augur well for the movement that has been carried forward by the doctors, which they have been calling it apolitical. So for an apolitical movement, the doctors, if they don't show the eagerness or the interest to come and meet the Chief Minister or the state administration, there will be assumptions made, there will be innuendos that will be thrown at them, political innuendos. So they are mindful of that fact, and therefore they came today, but the meeting did not take place. So it's a stalemate right now, but it's not a good situation because doctors, junior doctors from across all medical colleges in West Bengal, and there are 35 of them, they have joined the protest. So it will hamper medical services. That will also trigger some amount of discontent within the masses. And the government is also aware of that. And the doctors will also have to be aware of that because the pressure would be building on them as well. So just as the state government is under pressure, I would believe the doctors would also be under pressure. So they will have to take a very calculated decision as to what they do. Because remember, Gaurav, in a few days from now, on Tuesday, the matter comes up for hearing at the Supreme Court once again. And remember, the Supreme Court had given a deadline to the doctors to join work back. The deadline has already, gotten over 48 hours before. It was on Monday. 5 o'clock is when the deadline ended. And since then, the doctors have failed to return to work.
Yes.
And the Supreme Court had categorically stated that if they do fail to return to work by that deadline, the state government would be free to take punitive action against them.